Hi everybody, this is Bobby with Bobby Stamps, and I just wanted to do a quick video today. I wanted to share with you the cards that I made for my display board in Fort Worth. I was chosen to be a display stamper at OnStage there, and so they send you items that they have coming out in the new catalog. But because the items are so new or still into production, you might get a stamp set and no framelits, a punch and no stamp set, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to share with you what I received in my box when I opened it. And that is exactly what happened with me. I got some stamp sets that didn't have coordinating framelits or punches or whatever, but nothing, not complaining at all. I felt very honored and blessed to have been chosen, but that's just the way it goes when they're trying to get new items for the new catalog. So I will share with you my stamp sets that I got, and this was the most, I don't want to say discouraging, but what gave me the biggest dilemma was what I was going to do, because I really didn't get any stamp sets that had images. So these were my three. I got the Detailed with Love, and it has a lot of nice sentiments in it, and this is really about the only image I got with all my stamps. This one is swirly frames, so it was basically circles and squares, and you could frame, you know, whatever you stamped, and then the artisan texture. But I did love this one, and I made a lot of my cards using the stamp set. And then I got this beautiful punch, and so I had to get creative on how to use it, because there is a coordinating stamp set I found out later, but all I got was the punch. And then I got this lovely lipstick, and this is one of the new in colors, so it's a very fine thin ribbon. And then I got this beautiful, and I can't think of the name of it. It's not on the, you can see that's how new it was. It wasn't even named, or the name wasn't even put on it. But I want to say it might be the new Granite, and I can't think of the name because it's all so new to me still. And then the powder pink mini ruffled ribbon, and I absolutely love this. I used this ribbon a lot, and will continue to use it a lot. Then I got these framelits, and what I thought was really nice of them was they actually sent me, you know, the popped out image. This was mine that I ended up putting back in there in case I needed it. But this, you'll see this, I used it quite a bit too. It's a whoosh framelit, and then a candle and a circle, and an ice cream cone. So I used those a lot too. And I'll just move those over and put them back later. And then I got these beautiful glitter enamel dots. And then I did get some DSP paper. So this was the DSP paper I got, and I used it a lot on a lot of my cards. As you can see, I still have some, so it's double-sided. And I still have quite a bit of the sheets left. This was the gold and the black were just my favorite. These hats, the birthday hats. I actually used these framelits and popped out. If I can find it, I know it's on here. Right here it is. So I actually used that framelit and just laid it on the DSP and popped out those hats, and I'll show you the card here in a minute with that. I love this side of that paper. I ended up not using this one. This was the only one that like really gave me confusion. Couldn't really come up with an idea in my head. And then this is all that I had that I used. So let me just put all of this back and move it over here, and I'll start showing you the cards. So this is one of them, where I used the cake soiree, and then it's got that ribbon. So we were told, you know, the items that we got were to coordinate with the stuff that we already had that was current. And so at the time of OnStage, everything was current. We had no idea what was going to carry over, be retired, so we could use it all. And you know what? I was also given some little pearls. Let me see if I left them. They were buried in my box. So I also got these, and they came in gold and silver. So that's where I accented those, and then I already had some of these clear ones that I just put on there myself. And then these are going to be in the new catalog as well. So there's some silver and gold little candles for birthdays. So I loved those. So I showcased the DSP on this one, the candles, and that ribbon. And then this one I showcased the ribbon, the wish framelit, and both the DSPs. So that's that card. And this one I used the sentiment, and then just used some of the hearts. I can't remember the name of the stamp set. And then I just embossed, used an embossing powder, but I showcased the ribbon on this one. I did some inking around the sides. This is one of my favorite cards that I made. So here I used the DSP paper, there I used the DSP, and also right there, and then on the number 50, just embossed the basic black with the polka dot folder, and then used some of the gold thread, and then I heat embossed the happy anniversary and marriage as a journey, and then used some of the glimmer paper there. And this is another one of my favorite. I showed these yesterday at my local card and coffee class, and this one was a hit. A lot of people really liked this one and said it would make a nice New Year's card, and I agree. I think if you change up the sentiment, it would be nice in transportation with the airport, taking these to and from Texas, from Indiana. My little jewel there came off, and I never found it, but I can replace that. But here I'm showcasing, as you can see, the DSP. And then this one, I love how this card turned out. I used the background, the Artisan Textures, to create the background, and then used the beautiful butterfly finlets. And then this one, I used the framelets to make the little frame here. And then I just embossed the cardstock with, I can't think of the name of the file folder, and then the new one, the lined, I did the crumb cake just to make it look like it's the lines that are in a cone. It's this embossing folder here. I knew I wouldn't be able to remember the name of all of the items that I used, so if you guys want to know, just leave a comment below, email me, and I'll make sure I get you the exact name of anything that you're questioning. So this one I used the DSP, and again I used the pearls and the candles. And then this is the one I was telling you where I popped out, used the framelit to pop out the DSP, and then I used some of those jewels there, showcased the DSP and then the ribbon. And then this one I ended up using the swirly frames, and then I just took one of the circle framelets and then popped out the side of it. I don't know if you guys can see that there, and then I just popped it up with dimensionals to make it more like a 3D effect, and used the Oh So Eclectic flower, I think that is where that one's from. So this is how I ended up showcasing the elephant with the elephant punch. I just used the Artisan texture to create the background on Very Vanilla, and then I just popped that out, and I did the same with the heart. Just popped that out, and if you guys can see that. And then I used the ribbon. And this is another one where I used the framelets to just cut that out, and used Foxy Friends. And then this one I'm showcasing the framelets here where I popped out the cake, the DSP, and the DSP there. And then I heat embossed the background with the flowers, and that is, I used the Detailed with Love stamp set to get that design, and then that's a sentiment that comes. That's got a lot of nice sentiments in it, that stamp set does. I know I spoke to a lot of demonstrators that were there putting up their boards or taking them down, and we all kind of laughed and said the same thing, that we all opened our box and just kind of left them for a week. One lady said a month. And, you know, what am I going to do? Because I don't have this, I don't have that. But it was funny because I ended up, we could make 15 to 20, and I ended up making 30 projects. So once I got going, I didn't know when to turn it off. So here again, I used the Wish framelit, and then I used the birthday delivery stamp set, and I inked that up in the Memento ink. And my tip is to let that really set for a very long time, like even overnight before you touch it, because that will still smear. And when you do use the Wish thinlits, make sure that you keep your little eye, because what happens is, I don't know if you guys can see this, but the W comes off separate from the ISH. So just make sure that you keep your eye, because that happened to me a couple of times. And then this one again, the DSP, I used the Artisan Textures to create my background. And then showcasing the DSP, and then here the DSP is in the background there. So, and then this kind of stood up a little bit more, but you know, with travel, and I have it, you know, packed away in my little box, but you can see, just kind of pop it up and it goes right back into shape. I'm going to save that one because that one ended up being one of my favorite ones. So here again, this is probably one of my favorite cards, and it's showcasing the DSP. And I think this is the Heartland stamp set, and I used some of the pearls, used a pearl there. And I just love how this, I really hope that you guys can see this, because this is one of my favorite cards. I heat embossed that, used gold embossing powder and heat embossed that, and I just love how that card turned out. And then again, I used the Artisan Textures to create my background. And then I had some DSP paper that I just used to pop the elephant out again, and used pearls for the little eyes. And again, showcasing the Artisan Texture DSP, and then Crafty, I think that's Crafting Forever stamp set. And then I can't think of the name of the birds, but again, this is how I created that background, was with the Artisan Texture stamp, and then showcase that ribbon. This was, I loved how this card turned out too. I hope you guys can see that. I love how that card turned out. And then I have another one where I'm just basically showing the ribbon on this card, and then I just embossed it with an embossing folder, and then used my blends to color in the baby. And then this one, I used the swirly frames to get the background, and used the Oh So Eclectic stamp set. And then again, I used the Artisan Texture on this one. And this really looks, to me, it looks like leather. I did it on crumb cake, and it really looks like leather if you look at it. And then used the Butterfly Basics, the thinlits to pop out that butterfly. And then I cannot think of this one, the stamp set, but I was showcasing the elephant. But I do kind of think this elephant got just a little bit lost. It was kind of a busy card with the image and then the background of the DSP. But I used the Artisan Texture for this, and also, you know, showcasing the elephant punch. And here's another one that I really love how this one turned out. And it just looks like leather to me, and that's what I was going for, you know, with the leather cowboy boots, was to get that. And then there I have the pearls on that one too. And then this one, I started out with the Artisan Texture in the background. You can see the little bits there, and then I went in with the flamingo and used some of the accents that they sent me. This card was, everybody loved this one as well. So there again, I have the ribbon, the DSP, and then a few of these are vellum. This one is a vellum, this flower's vellum, that one's vellum, and then the rest are just white, Whisper White cardstock, heat embossed using the flower pansy punch and the Flower Shop stamp set, and just heat embossed those. I love how this one turned out. I showed this, had them all laid out yesterday at my local card and coffee class, and that was a favorite. And then here's another cute little baby card using that elephant. So I love that one. And this one is probably my favorite one, and it was the one that everybody really oohed and awed yesterday at my card class. This one is using that Wish framelit. Then I used the Artisan Texture background and used the enamel shapes. And I used the glossy white paper, and I just did, you know, a rainbow of color, just watercolored different colors, and then just popped it out 3 different times just to get that rainbow effect. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you like the cards. That was my display board. Everything will be available June 1st, the new catalog that you can order out of. I've already done a pre-order, and I get to do another one on May 2nd where I can order even more things. I've already got some classes planned. May 1st, if you're interested, you can order the Share What You Love. And if you want to visit my blog, I have information on there on a class that I'm offering free PDFs and videos to make some gorgeous cards with the new in colors and that suite. Thanks so much for watching, guys.